Yo, it's your boy Jay Best, your boy Jerry, and your boy Tyrell, and we coming live from NOLA, baby. We on Bourbon Street. All right, and we about to give y'all season 3, episode 36 of the Straight to the Point podcast. Right, today's episode, me and Tyrell will give y'all four bets to make some money on Sunday for the Super Bowl. And following that, we're gonna talk about our Super Bowl X factors for each team, who a Super Bowl win would mean the most for. All right, who's under the most pressure, and then we'll give our Super Bowl picks at the end. Throughout this episode, y'all will see little Super Bowl commercials of some guys I pulled to the side to get their Super Bowl picks throughout the show. All right, but as always, let's thank God for waking us up this morning, allowing us to talk about sports was something that we love to do, and without him, we would not be here right now. Right, boys, are ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right, let's start with the Super Bowl bets. All right, throughout the year, me and Tyrell been giving y'all bets, player props to do for each game. We're only gonna do 4, so 2 apiece because one game on Sunday. But Tyrell, who you got first?
Yes, sir. First, I got Saquon Barkley going over point 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Everybody knows he's been their best player all season long, so they're gonna go to him in the Super Bowl, especially when they get to the goal line. So go ahead and smash that prop.
All right, I'm going with Saquon Barkley's rushing yards in his first 5 attempts. This is a prop that I found on Prize Picks for 27 and a half. I took it at 26 and a half. It got bumped up 1 yard. Look, in 5 carries, we all know Saquon, any play, can hit his head on the goalpost. We've seen it throughout the whole entire year. We saw it against the Commanders, right? We saw it against the Rams. We've been seeing it all year long. So he can hit this in 1 carry. All right, so I think it's a really good bet to do on somebody that can knock this out in 1 carry, 2 carries. All right, so I think you should take advantage of that and hit his 27 and a half yards in his first 5 attempts. All right, Real, who you got next?
Yes, sir. Next, I got you already know who I got. Travis Kelce over 62.5 receiving yards. We all know Travis Kelce is probably the most dominant receiver slash tight end in NFL sports history. You know, he gets it done, and I don't see it being no different on Sunday. He's gonna put on a show for Taylor Swift and the Chiefs fans. So go ahead and smash that 62.5 receiving yards.
All right. Next, I do want to promote that Patrick Mahomes has a point 0.5 yards bet on Prize Picks. All right, so make sure y'all take advantage of that. But I'm not going to take that bet. I'll take the easy way out. All right, I'm going to go with Devontae Smith over 51 and a half receiving yards. All right, look, I just feel like this Eagles team has a lot that you got to cover, right? I think you got to stop Saquon Barkley in the run game. You got to worry about A.J. Brown. You also got to worry about Devontae Smith. And I think that A.J. Brown might be shadowed a little bit by Trent McDuffie, right? So I'm not saying Trent McDuffie can hold him, but that's a nice matchup. But I don't think nobody can guard Devontae Smith in that secondary outside of Trent McDuffie. So he's going to have his hands full. So I do think that Devontae Smith can definitely get this 51 and a half. And we know with Jalen Hurts' arm, he can get this in 1 catch or maybe even 2 catches, right? But that is our 4 bets for this upcoming Sunday in the Super Bowl. Jared, what you think?
If I had to choose whose bets I would pick and use, I'll have to go Tyrell's just because like you said, yes, Devontae Smith is going to have cornerback number 2 on him, but I just think that the game plan will mostly consist of, for the Eagles, of course, getting the ball to Saquon Barkley, and then a lot of A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. That's what I believe. And so just because of that, and he has a Saquon Barkley touchdown, which is an automatic, and then Travis Kelce, he's going to show up when it matters the most, and there's no more important game than the Super Bowl, so I would have to go with Real's picks. Both picks are great, but I just have to go with his.
All right, that works for me. All right, get y'all a little money for Super Bowl Sunday. This is the last game of the season. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about this big blockbuster game, Super Bowl X Factor. So what we're going to do is each of us is going to give an X Factor for each team. All right. Basically, this means who's going to have the best game for that team to win. All right. We're going to start with Tyrell. Who you got for both teams X Factors?
Yes, sir. So starting off with the Eagles, the X factor is gonna have to be, in my opinion, Saquon Barkley. Because if you guys did your homework, the Chiefs have not allowed a 100-yard rusher, and I think like the last 30 playoff games or something like that. So Saquon Barkley is the X factor because if he could get this run game going, that's the key to stopping this Chiefs. The Chiefs have been able to win games because they can stop the run. If Saquon Barkley could get the run game going, it's definitely going to be hard to see the Chiefs winning this game. But my X factor on the Chiefs would obviously be Patrick Mahomes because he's the best player on the field. He's going to have to be in control of the whole ball game. Just like I said, Saquon Barkley is going to have a big game running the ball. Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to be somebody who has to stay on the field to be productive. So I think he has to come out, have a productive game, probably one of the best games of the season because he has started slow all season.
All right, Jerry, you up next. Who are your two X factors for Sunday?
My X factor for the Philadelphia Eagles has to be Jalen Carter. I mean, going back to last week, whenever we talked about the reason why the Bills can't get over that hump is because they don't really have a guy that can just, when it's important, when it matters, go get Patrick Mahomes. Put some pressure on Mahomes, make him uncomfortable, make him have to go off script, which he can do, but it's still harder than just allowing him to sit back in the pocket and make his reads and make his decisions. So Jalen Carter can constantly get pressure, even just like hitting him right after the ball is released. The QB hits, pressures, sacks, all that is going to add up. And if you can get Mahomes second guessing himself because he thinks that pressure is coming, then that's a win. And that's going to definitely help your secondary because we know that Andy Reid and Mahomes are going to have a good game plan going into this game. And yes, your secondary and the rest of the defense is good, but we've seen what Mahomes can do with the best of the defenses. So if you can get pressure on him, that will really take some stress off the back end. And then for the Chiefs, I'm going to say Xavier Worthy. I think that he has to just, like, he can open up so much. He's that big play threat. And so if they can get him going early, it won't just have a big game for him, but you can have a big game for Travis Kelce. You have a big game for DeAndre Hopkins, Juju, because now they're worried about that over-the-top deep threat. You send him in motion and all that. Now they're keen on him. That's somebody they have to watch out for. And so you come out with all the misdirection for other players. So those are two X factors that I have.
All right, my X factor for the Eagles is going to be C.J. Gardner-Johnson. All right, I do believe that if the Eagles want to have a good chance of winning this game, you got to take out Travis Kelce. And I think that C.J. will most likely be shadowing Travis for majority of this game. And I do think that he can. I'm not saying he will shut him out completely, but I don't think you can let Travis Kelce have a big game. If Travis Kelce has a huge game, the Eagles are going. I mean, the Chiefs are going to win, right? So I need C.J. Gardner-Johnson to go ahead and try and lock up, slow down, minimize Travis Kelce, make somebody else beat you. All right, I'm tired of watching Super Bowls and seeing Travis Kelce be wide open. I'm tired of seeing Travis Kelce and make these big impact plays in the Super Bowls, right? If I'm a head coach or I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm going to make sure that your best player cannot beat me. And their best player outside of Mahomes is Travis Kelce. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I think he is going to be the X factor for this game if he's shadowing Travis, right? But then for the Chiefs, I got to go with their O-line, right? If Mahomes is upright through the majority of this game, they're going to win. And I think that if you look at the Super Bowls in the past, the one Super Bowl they lost, which was to the Bucks, Mahomes was under pressure 29 times, right? And that's the Super Bowl record for most pressures on the quarterback, right? It was constantly on Mahomes' back, and that's what made him uncomfortable. When you look at this Eagles team, the first time they played, the Eagles led the league in sacks. But in that game, they only got 7 pressures, right? So Mahomes was chilling majority of that game, and that's why I don't think they could close it out against this Chiefs team. And then the 49ers last year, they got pressure on Mahomes 46% of the time going into the fourth quarter. But in the fourth quarter, they only got 19% of the time, right? You got to get constant pressure on Mahomes if you want to win this game. So if that Chiefs O-line holds up, then this Eagles team is really going to struggle in beating the Chiefs, all right? All right, y'all, this is River. He's about to give his Super Bowl pick and why. All right, River, let us know what you got.
All righty, so to cut to it, I got the Eagles taking this. I don't think the Chiefs get the three-peat. I think the Chiefs have had a pretty hard time stopping the run. I mean, they let Joe Mixon and James Cook get to close to 100 yards a game. Both of them got touchdowns. And I don't think they can stop Saquon. I think if the Eagles can control the clock and control the time of how they want to play and go those 10, 15 play drives and get a touchdown at the end of it, I think the Chiefs are going to have a decently hard time stopping the Eagles' run game.
All right. That sounds good. And give me a final score, too.
Final score, let's go Eagles 35, Chiefs 31.
Okay. I like it. All right, and that's River with his Super Bowl pick. All right, y'all. Next, a Super Bowl win would mean the most for who? All right, let's finish this sentence. Super Bowl win would mean the most for who? Tyrell, you up first.
Nick Sirianni. And the reason I say Nick Sirianni is because I feel like he's kind of been on the hot seat the past 2 years. A lot of people, especially Eagles fans, are expecting him to take the next level. A lot of people in the league think the Eagles have one of the best teams on paper. 1 through 22, they have the best team on paper. So if he can't take this team and win this game, I feel like he just might get fired. So I feel like a win in the Super Bowl, it would shut all of Philadelphia up. It will shut the whole NFL world up, and it'll just make the world realize he's a great coach. So I think a Super Bowl win would mean the most for Nick Sirianni, 100%.
All right, Jeremy, you got.
All right, so we all know who the big headlines following is. Can Mahomes get another ring to chase Brady's legacy? But I'm not gonna go that direction. I'm actually go with Andy Reid because I think that we talk about the great coaches, but I don't really see people start to mention Andy Reid. I really don't, and I feel like if we are talking about him, we're not putting him at the top with a Belichick. We're not putting him at the top with a Tom Landry. We're just not doing that. So I think that if Andy Reid and the Chiefs can pull off another win, we're gonna have to start putting him in that debate. I mean, he's created a dynasty. He's built this team. He's had success with them, and so having those 4 rings, I feel like that's definitely something that we have to talk about and mention him when we talk about the greatest coaches of all time.
All right, I like both of y'all picks. I think the Super Bowl win would mean the most for Jalen Hurts. All right, this is the guy that is constantly disrespected, right? And I think that a ring is what he has to do to shut everyone up. Because I still think that there's people out there that don't believe Jalen Hurts can get the job done, right? Even though he's shown us that on the biggest stage, I can go toe to toe with the best in the league, the best in the world. I can do that. I look like I belong. I was telling Jared the episode we did following the championship game that Josh Allen belongs on the field with Mahomes. Like, there's no debate about that. Josh Allen just can't get the W, right? If Jalen Hurts can get on this field and show us once again that he belongs on the same field and get the W, that would mean a lot for this man. I think a lot of people hesitate to put him in the top 5, but if he wins head-to-head against Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he got to be top 5. And it's got to be we got to start looking at Lamar Jackson, right, and Josh Allen. We got to look at them and say, hey, Jalen Hurts did it on the biggest stage against Mahomes. Y'all can't do it head-to-head in the playoffs, right? So I think that that's going to put them under some fire as well. So I think that a Super Bowl win would mean a whole lot for Jalen Hurts, all right? All right, this is my boy Jay Hunt. He about to give his Super Bowl pick and why. So let us know who about to win Super Bowl 59.
Man, it's the Chiefs. You see how they did them in Buffalo? They cheated for him. If you bet against Mahomes, come on, man. Like, why would you do that? That's the how Brady was, how they used to just baby him, but Brady was great. This dude right here, he's soft as Charmin toilet paper, bro. I can't stand him. Yeah, they're gonna cheat for him every time they get. I mean, the Eagles got a good defense, but I don't know. It's the Chiefs, man. You can't go against the Chiefs.
All right, so let's just get this straight, though. You're picking the Chiefs because you believe it's rigged or you believe they're going to cheat for Mahomes. That's what you're saying.
Definitely, it's the agenda. It's Taylor Swift, all of that. So why would you want to go against that? The Eagles, they good. Even the felon they got at D tackle, he's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about. No
Felon.
disrespect, no disrespect. I don't want no problem with Jalen Carter. Yeah, I'm just joking. He's a great player. They got what they call them, the KKK boys, the white DBs.
Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, they got them little white boys back there. But I mean, it's really nothing crazy, bro. They just do the tush push. It's no skill. Jalen Hurts overrated in my opinion. But yeah, man.
So go ahead and give me a final score for this game.
Let's see. I got 17-10. Yeah, 17-10 Chiefs.
All right, y'all heard it best from Jay Hunt. 17-10 Chiefs.
17-10
against Mahomes.
Hey, watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. 17-10. They gonna give him the ball the last drive of the game. He gonna come down and win it.
All right, Jay Hunt called it. Patrick Mahomes walk-off touchdown, 17-10. The Chiefs win Super Bowl 59.
I'm telling you.
And then moving on to our next question. Who's under the most pressure? Right? So in the Super Bowl game, there's a lot of people that going into this game, look, you got to win. You got to perform to win. You got to perform to get credit. You got to perform to get respect. All right. So who is under the most pressure in the Super Bowl? Tyrell, you first.
Yes, sir. And just like you said, Jalen Hurts, he's been dealing with a lot of disrespect recently, a lot of disrespect for the last 2 years. I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts is under the most pressure. And the reason I say that is because Jalen Hurts hasn't been playing to the superstar level that he was playing at 2 years ago. Before he signed that massive contract he just signed, he was playing at a superstar level. Like people were saying he was probably the best quarterback in the league, you know? He was that good. I feel like he's kind of took a step back and last year he's played better this year, but I feel like he still didn't reach that superstar level yet. And I feel like a win here would definitely prove that he's a superstar, prove that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. If he can go side for side with Mahomes and win this game against Mahomes, you got to give him his respect. So I definitely say Jalen Hurts is under the most pressure. He's it's his second Super Bowl in 3 years. No other man for the job.
100%. Jerry, you up next.
So, my pick, this is somebody that people might not really look at this and say, oh, he's under a lot of pressure. To me, I'm putting him under pressure right now. Okay, right now I'm saying that this guy should be under pressure, and I'm gonna go with Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. When we talk about teams that don't beat the Chiefs, when we talk about the Ravens, they go away from their identity. They leave their identity, and it's caused problems. Okay, like you said earlier, Tyrell, the Chiefs haven't given up 100 rushing yard playoff game in, like you said, 30 something games. If you look at the Buffalo Bills, James Cook had 85 rushing yards, 13 carries for 85 rushing yards. And I will bet my last dollar that the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is entirely better than Buffalo Bills. And Saquon Barkley is levels above James Cook. No disrespect to James Cook, but it's facts. So Kellen Moore, don't go away from the run game. Don't get sucked into that thing, because if you look at it, they haven't really played a quarterback in the NFC where it's like in the playoffs where it's like, ooh, they're kind of looking at Jalen Hurts. Okay, you know what? Go outperform him. Now you're gonna get some Mahomes. So I don't want Kellen Moore to get sucked into this game of, hey, Jalen Hurts, you go be better than Mahomes. You go outplay Mahomes like you did the last time. Don't force that on Jalen Hurts. Let Saquon Barkley and your offensive line do what they've been doing the whole entire year, and this is how you got here. So how you get here, that's how we're going to finish the thing off. So feed Saquon Barkley the rock, and then let Jalen Hurts drop back and throw the ball when it's necessary. He's going to make the right decisions, and he's going to take care of the football. So if Kellen Moore just stays true to their game plan, they will be fine. If you don't, you're going to lose this game, and I'm going to look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I think they definitely should leave their identity. Right? What got you here, you need to continue to do that right throughout this game. Do not let this become, as you said, Jalen Hurts versus Mahomes. You don't want that. I think that the media wants that because, once again, they would not respect Jalen Hurts until he puts on a game like that and win. But for the Eagles' sake, you need to go ahead and keep the ball in Saquon's hands. I think who's under the most pressure in this game, and it's funny that none of us said Mahomes, who's going for the three-peat, right? It's funny that none of us said that. And I think that we didn't say that because we know that even if he does lose, we're not going to sit here and just kill the man for not getting a three-peat, something that's never been done, right? So I think that's why none of us said it. But I'm going to go back to the well, and I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. I think he is. Now, I respect Steve Spagnuolo, right, defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, so much that I do not think Saquon is going to have this 150-yard rushing game, right? Like, I think he's going to do everything he can to minimize Saquon. Now, it's easier said than done because at the end of the day, nobody has the Eagles O-line, right? So ain't no scheme going to help your men not get mauled. And not only that, but you got to tackle Saquon, right? Like, that's another problem. You got to tackle Saquon. So it's a lot, but I'm going to trust that Steve Spagnuolo is not going to let the Eagles win doing what they want to do, which means Jalen Hurts, I think they're going to have to call on you to make some plays this weekend. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts will just hand the ball off 20 times back there chilling. Like, you're going to have to make some plays, especially going against Mahomes. And when it comes down to the fourth quarter, you're going to have to make some plays. And I think you're under the most pressure because, as I said in the last segment, nobody's giving you the respect you deserve. And I think that in this game, at some point, Jalen Hurts gonna have to make a play. And that's just me saying disrespecting Steve Spagnuolo and that coaching staff. I just don't think, like, real quick, do y'all think that Saquon just gonna have his way, or do you think the Chiefs are going to make sure that don't happen? Because if that happens, I can't see the Chiefs winning, right? So, what y'all think is gonna happen in that regards? You go ahead first, Tyra.
Yes, sir. You know how Saquon Barkley's line is set at like 113.5?
Yeah, somewhere around
I
there.
think I think Saquon Barkley goes over 100 yards, but as you said, so much respect to the Chiefs defensive coordinator. He's not just gonna let them run wild over him like he's been doing the past couple of weeks. But I think that, as Jarek said, that Eagles O line is so good, Saquon Barkley's so good. It's gonna be hard to stop him for 4 quarters. So I definitely see him going over 100 yards, but I don't see him killing them.
Yeah, Jared.
It won't be we won't see I don't think we'll see the super explosive plays out of Saquon Barkley. Like, I don't think we're gonna see a 60-yard rushing touchdown. We might, because he has that capability and so does the offensive line. Like you said, I think that Steve Spagnuolo will limit the big home run plays that they get from Saquon Barkley. But with that being said, I do still think that the Eagles' offensive line and Saquon Barkley are good enough to where if Saquon Barkley has 20-plus carries, he'll have over 100 yards easily. I do believe that. And I think that as long as they do that, he can have over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns if they give him the ball 20 times. I do believe that. But that's not just saying that stat line right there, I still can't guarantee you a win, if that makes sense. Just because of the Chiefs and Mahomes. I can't guarantee. Like you said, Jalen Hurts is going to have to pull some weight for them to get this win.
Yeah, he definitely can. And then there's one more thing that I wanted to ask. If Jalen Hurts has a 160 passing yard game with maybe 1 passing touchdown, right? 3 rushing touchdowns, but they like all tush push. Like, he doesn't have a great game. He has a mediocre game. Do you think that Jalen Hurts is still going to? It's the conversation is going to be Jalen Hurts. You're just on a really good team. Like, do you think he'll get his respect if he has a mediocre game versus if he have a game almost like last time and get the win this time? So Tyrell, do you think he'll get his respect if he has? Because according to Jared, keep the ball in Saquon's hands, right? I agree with that. But if they do that, then he might have 170 passing yards, a passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 touch pushes. Like, it's not going to be impressive. So, a non-impressive game, will Jalen Hurts still get his respect?
I say yes and I say no. Because I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to sound like a hater at all. But like you just said, he has one of the best teams in football. I feel like the best team in football.
He
So if
does.
he goes out there and has a mediocre game again, which he hasn't been playing at a superstar level all year, like it's been the O-line and Saquon Barkley who's been playing really well all year. Say Jalen Hurts was holding the ball really long. He's having problems with AJ Brown. They couldn't really get the passing game all season. So I'd say, obviously, like Saquon Barkley's been carrying that team. So, I mean, I wouldn't give Jalen Hurts. I definitely still say Jalen Hurts isn't that guy yet because his team's just so good. That defense is the best defense in the league. That offense is the best offense in the league without him. That offense looked really good when Kenny Pickett was in there. So, what about you, Jared?
So I don't think he will get the respect that he deserves, but I'll give it to him. If you go back and look at when Mahomes got outplayed by Jalen Hurts, Mahomes had 182 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Now, mind you, outside of the passing touchdown of Travis Kelce, these were just great play calls. The receiver's wide open, walks in for a 2-yard touchdown.
Emotions, yeah.
Yes. You take away those 2 touchdowns, which to me, those 2 touchdowns would be the same as 3 Jalen Hurts push touchdowns. So if Jalen Hurts can throw one in the air and has about 160, 170 passing yards, I'll give him his credit. I really will, because that means that, like I said, in order for him to get the win, Saquon Barkley has to have a good game. But Jalen Hurts, you have to do what you've been doing and taking care of the football. Yeah. Taking care of the football is so important. Not only turnovers, but making sure you're not having 3 and outs. Make sure you're not having short possessions. You have to win the time of possession. And I think that that's something that Jalen Hurts will be involved in. So if he has a 160-yard passing game with 1 touchdown in the air, 3 on the ground, I'm going to give him his credit. I really will, because I feel like we say that he's on the best football team and we feel like somebody else could do it, but nobody else is doing it. So we have to give him his credit that he deserves.
Yeah, I agree. And the Chiefs are also 34-1 when they win the turnover battle in the past 3 years. Right. So as you said, if Jalen Hurts don't keep doing what he's been doing and taking care of the ball, then you one turnover and you in trouble when it comes to Kansas City. Because one thing they're gonna do is capitalize off of it, and they're not gonna turn the ball over. But yeah, I agree with y'all. It's a two-way conversation. I think if you really know football, which all three of us do, I feel like we can't just say Jalen Hurts, you on a good team. Like, I don't think that's fair. Because what does he have to do to prove himself, right? Leave the Eagles, right? Go to a trash team and get on the ring. Like, I don't think that's not fair. Because at that point, nothing he can do. I think we just have to give Howie Roseman his credit and say, hey, you built a great team around Jalen Hurts. This is why I told you last week that this Eagles team is the prototype. Like, get a quarterback and then continue to add talent around them. Like that is the answer. And I think that the Eagles are showing that. And I just feel like it's not fair for Jalen Hurts because he's not leaving the Eagles ever, in my honest opinion. And the Eagles will continue to be good as long as Howie keep doing what he's doing. So according to that statement that he's only on a good team, he'll never be able to prove that he's a good quarterback because he's never not going to be on a good team. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them conversations that I think people have to understand that there's nothing he can do. All right, y'all. This is TJ, and he about to give us a Super Bowl pick and why. Right. So TJ, who you got winning Super Bowl 59 and why?
Man, I got the Chiefs because Andy Reid. He's very good at manipulating the other team's defenses, making them do what they don't want to do. And then Spagnuolo, he's a great DC, man. He knows when to blitz. Well, he blitzes all the time, really. So pressure messes with anybody, to be honest. And Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's gonna be able to stride this time under the pressure, especially with his noodle arm.
I ain't had to say all that. You ain't had to do all that. But look, so basically you're saying it's gonna be a coaching matchup, and Andy Reid and Spagnuolo are gonna win that thing.
Yeah.
I respect it. And go ahead and give us a final score for the game.
I'm gonna go 35-28 Chiefs.
35-20. I already got to shoot out the Super Bowl, right? But now it's time to make a decision. All right, Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, featuring Jay Hurts and the Eagles, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs looking to get a three-peat, the first team to ever do it. Will it get done? I need a pick. I need a score. Y'all are under pressure. Tyrell, who you got?
Yes, sir. As you just said, nobody has ever three-peated in their lives before. I think it would be extremely hard to three-peat against this Eagles team who, from top to bottom, is just elite. They have the best defense in the league, like I just said, the best offense in the league. The only spot I see the Chiefs beating this Eagles team at, position-wise, is quarterback. So I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a 31-27 win. I got Philly winning. I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles will get their first Super Bowl. It's going to be really hard to stop that offense, and it's going to be really hard to move the ball on that defense.
I like it. Now, Jared, go ahead and let us down. Go ahead and let us down.
So this whole episode, I've been talking about the players that need to step up, the coach that needs to step up. I've basically given the blueprint of how you can win this football game. You can do all that. It's not going to matter. I have the Chiefs winning 37-31. I just think that, hey, man, somebody has to do it, okay? If you go all the way back to Michael Jordan, nobody three-peated, nobody did it. But guess what? He did it. Nobody up until that point had three-peated. So, of course, everybody was counting him out. The Detroit Pistons went back-to-back before that. So the odds were stacked against him, and he did it. Mahomes is going to show y'all why he is so great, and he's going to get the job done. But it's not going to be him by himself. I do think that a big part of this game is going to be coaching. Now, don't get me wrong. Nick Sirianni, you're a good coach. No matter what people say, you are a good coach. Vic Fangio, you're a good coach. Kellen Moore, you're a good coach. But y'all aren't Andy Reid and Spags. Y'all just aren't. And I think that at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Andy Reid is going to have the team prepared. Spags is going to put on a clinic. He's gonna put on a clinic. He's gonna get the job done. And so I do think that Mahomes and the Chiefs are gonna go ahead and be the first franchise to go ahead and get a three-peat done.
It let me down. All right. I'm going with the Eagles, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right. 30 to 30 to 23. Look, this Eagles team, man, when you just look at them, I don't know how you can beat them. Like I don't, and it's going to like if Mahomes do this, I will bow down. I will do it because as we've been saying this whole entire episode, their team from top to bottom, I think top to bottom, they clear the Chiefs except for the QB position, and I even say the coaching position, right? And then tight ends, right? Because Travis Kelce. Those three positions they got. But everywhere else, I think they're outmanned. I think they're outmatched. What we talked about last week with the Bills here, we talked about if you don't got the manpower, you got to have the coaching power. Well, they got the manpower, right? They got the manpower. Once again, shout out to Howie Roseman. When you look at team top to bottom, Jalen Hurts at quarterback, he's not a scrub. For everybody saying he is not a scrub. It's a former MVP candidate we're talking about. Then you got Saquon. Like Saquon is doing so well that he's starting to bring the running back market back up, right? Like everybody's like have a conversation about the RB market because of Saquon. Saquon behind his old line, like I said earlier, it's hard for me to say that Spaz gonna stop this run because first of all, you can't get blocked by this old line, right? Jordan Mailata, Mekhi Becton, 6'7" guard, like cool, like we've never seen that before, right? Then you got Lane Johnson, right? You got Landon Dickinson, right? It's just they're going to block you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to block you, and then you got to come downhill and make a tackle on Saquon, who can make one move and get and outrun the rest of your defense and get out of there. Like it's such a tough task. And then I didn't even get to the receivers yet. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, right? Dallas got it. It is so, bro. This team cannot lose. Like Tyrell said, I would not be opposed to Nick Sirianni getting let go if they don't win this game. I would not be opposed to it. I just wouldn't, because you got here a couple years ago, you fell short, right? And this year, this team is better than that Eagles team. What did y'all agree? This Eagles team is better than that Eagles team last time, right? Like that defense was good.
100%.
Yeah, that defense was good, but they didn't have Jalen Carter, right? And I think Jalen Carter is the next coming of Aaron Donald, right? They had Miles Sanders. That run game was good.
Pumpy brakes. Whoa, pumpy brakes.
I said the next.
No. I need to see more out of Jalen Carter before we get prepared, man. Aaron Donald. Pumpy brakes.
I said the next coming. All right, next coming. And they had Miles Sanders, but this team had Saquon. Like a running back like that behind the O-line like that is problematic, bro. Like I just can't. And then on the other side, like we said, that defense is really, really good. And Mahomes is really, really good. Do not get it twisted. But that defense is really, really, really good. Like, and the one thing against the Eagles is that Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator for the Eagles, is 0-8 versus Mahomes, right? 6 of them losses came when he was the head coach in Denver. Exactly. Smacking him, right? 6 of them losses came when he was in Denver, when he played them twice a year, right? So you got him twice a year, you can never beat him. Like that is a big problem right there but I don't think, in defense to that, I don't think he's had a defense like this ever when he's played Mahomes, right? So the Eagles got the better team. I don't think nobody's arguing that. I think Jarek's argument is just they got Mahomes. Like that's his argument. I mean, nobody's arguing they don't got the better team, but they got to get the job done, bro. They have to. First of all, and Jarek, actually, I wouldn't be that mad if Mahomes three-peat versus last year. Last year I was hot, right? Last year I was hot.
Stick to your stomach. Couldn't even talk to you after the game.
I was sick to my stomach, bro. But this year I wouldn't even be that mad. I'm just accepting the fact that, bro, what would this in greatness? I don't know. I just can't. So Tyrell, before we go, if Mahomes get this three-peat, where would he rank among your all-time quarterbacks?
He would still be second, win or lose, just because Tom Brady has 6. But shout out to Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows he's the most talented quarterback ever. But
so you got him at 2 right now.
yeah, win or lose this game.
Yes, he should be at 2. Come on, dude. You're playing right now. You're playing right now.
I think with this three-peat, he will move to number 3 on my list. I still have no. Yes, no, yes. He moves number 3 on my list with this 3-peat.
Whoa.
I can't, bro.
He'll
I
move
can't.
to 3.
I
So what is
can't
he right
just-
now?
As of right now, he's 4. We had to start
Behind Tom and who else?
behind Tom, behind Peyton, behind Joe, and then I have Mahomes right there. I put Mahomes above Aaron Rodgers, so that's a big step for me.
You know Mahomes has more playoff wins than Joe Montana.
That's cool.
Did you know that? Did you know that?
How many
He's
I
on-
didn't know. I didn't know that.
he played
How
like
old
18.
is Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is what 20? What is he? Jared's your guy. What is he?
Hey man, look, he my guy, but he's not that much my guy. I don't know this man age like that. Patrick Mahomes, he's 29.
Man, so we got a good 10 more years ago.
29. He got a lot more time. A lot more time. This is crazy. I can't believe this.
Joe
4 right
Joe
now.
Also,
He'll be
Joe
3
has
afterwards.
Joe got 4 Super Bowls too. By the way, we're talking
Joe has
about
4?
playoff wins. He has 4 Super Bowls.
Thought Joe had 3.
No, Joe has 4. I'm
So
looking at it right now.
Young
He
has
has 4
1?
Super Bowls. Huh?
So Steve Young only has 1?
Yes. And that's when Joe got hurt. Right now he has 4. So if he wins this game, I'll put him above Joe. Bro, I'm not. Peyton
You say you'll put him above Joe.
if he wins his 3, yes.
So he'll be second.
He'll be 3rd. I just said Brady, Peyton, Joe, then Mahomes.
How is Peyton ahead of Joe Montana?
Bro, Peyton got 5 MVPs, bro. I think
5
nobody.
MVPs with 2 rings.
Yes, that is. What's wrong with that? So
What's
what
wrong with that?
he had 5 rings and 5.
5 rings and two Super Bowl rings, 5 MVPs and 2 Super Bowl rings.
And the
Something not
greatest-
adding up here.
And the
That
greatest
means you are the greatest regular season player we've ever seen. That's what that's telling me.
And he has the greatest regular season of all time.
Whoop-de-doo.
Wow, what did he do?
He didn't even win the Super Bowl that year. He didn't win the Super Bowl that year.
Right, lost to the Seahawks. They're pretty good.
This is looking real Lamar Jackson-ish.
Hey, you heard that, Rail? Rail, you heard that? He dissing your boy.
Yeah, but hey, Jerry, he's speaking facts, and I'm gonna have to tell you, pump the brakes on Joe Montana. I'm looking at his stats, and like, I know you said he got 4 Super Bowls, but I'm looking at the numbers, and it's just nah. Pump them.
Different era. That's a different era. You got to give me that.
Okay.
You gotta give me that.
I give you that, but they played 16 games back then.
It's a different era, man.
You had Jerry Rice. There's no excuse.
He had Jerry Rice.
There's
Okay,
no
you got Travis
excuse.
Kelce. You got Travis Kelce.
Jerry Rice, bro, he leads every single receiving stat, bro. Like, nobody will ever touch his records. That's how great of a receiver he had.
You're right. I think that's the greatest receiver ever. Jerry thinks Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end ever. So
He is.
you
He
got
is.
Travis. Okay, so
He
you got
is.
Travis.
But when did he become the greatest tight end ever?
That's not fair.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
That's
Answer the question now. Answer the question now. He went from Joe Montana to Steve Young. Then he went somewhere else and still had 1,000 yards receiving season. That's how great Jerry Rice is. You take Patrick Mahomes away. I'm sorry, Travis Kelce. He's not gonna have this. I'll respect him. He's still great. He'll still have a great season, but it won't be nothing compared to what he has with Mahomes.
Well, so if that's the case, we can do the same thing with Gronk. Gronk ain't nothing without Brady.
That's different.
How's it different?
That's different because I told you in my eyes, Gronk's not on the level of Travis Kelce. He's not.
Tyrell, who the greatest tight end of all time? In your eyes. And you seen with your eyes.
Talent wise, are we talking like just all time?
If you're talking all time, it's without a doubt Travis Kelce.
Yes, without a doubt, Travis Kelce. We talking talent wise, like him being on the field, Rob Gronkowski though, for sure. That's just me. Like I just seen him literally wreck defenses.
Travis Kelce can run every route on the route tree.
Facts.
Rob Gronkowski got 4 routes.
Rob didn't have to. He didn't have to. That's a flex. That's a flex. If I'm in the greatest of all time conversation, I ran 4 routes. That's a flex.
And teams literally sit here trying to figure out new ways to stop the man. It can't be done. It can't be done.
You're right. And Rob could.
And what was your solution to this game? What did you say to do?
You gotta slow down Travis.
And how'd you say to do that?
So, I think now to defend that answer, I think you got to shadow him. I don't think you can go zone the whole time.
You shadow him. Shadow him with who? Who you shadowing him with?
I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson can shadow.
Hey, what Shannon Sharp say? Yams, catfish, collard greens. Cooked.
Like chicken.
That boy is fried. Please leave him out there with him.
Real, that's your boy. You don't think he can shadow? Now I'm not saying go man across the board. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you can go zone, but somebody got to shadow Travis, bro.
Don't matter.
Zone
Travis
gonna
losing
get
him.
open.
Travis gonna lose him and then find that soft spot. It don't matter.
So Tyrell,
You've seen it. You've seen it too many times to not know what's gonna happen.
I have. You know the Eagles
Yeah,
brought back.
dude.
The Eagles brought back one of their best tight ends, Brett Selleck, and had him running routes in practice. And they
Who?
had
Who?
Brent Selleck. Y'all ain't seen.
Brent Selleck. I know who Brent Selleck is, but I don't think the people watching this show know who Brent Selleck is.
Y'all ain't seen
Come
the
on,
video.
dude.
Old tight
Y'all
end for the
just-
Eagles. They brought him back. They said, "Look, I need you to run routes in practice, help CJ and Reed Blankenship shadow a tight end."
If that's who you got running your scout team tight end, then y'all are fried. Y'all are fried.
But real, you see why I said CJ, right?
100%. He's probably the best man safety in the league. Probably.
He's
I'd
the
say.
best option.
Yeah,
But
he's the
there's
best
no,
option.
he's the best option. But there's no answer to this. Nobody.
I hear you. It's cool. We gonna see if there's an answer. You know why? Because next week on Wednesday, all three of us gonna be back right here to talk about what happened on Sunday.
You're right. And on that episode, when we start off the episode, I know how you normally start the episode, yo. Right after the three yo-yo-yos, I want to hear you bow down to Patrick Mahomes. I want to hear it.
I told you, if they win, I will
Yes.
bow down.
When they win next Wednesday, we need to see it.
Okay.
We need to see it.
We're gonna see it. All right. But that is it for the Straight to the Point podcast today, y'all. The whole crew is here for the first time ever, but this will not be the last time. All right, we'll keep this thing going. I think it's a good thing we got going here. All right. But make sure y'all please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all check out the Instagram, the Facebook, and the TikTok. All right. But that is it from the Straight to the Point podcast with your boy Jared, your boy Tyrell, and your boy Jay Best. Y'all stay blessed. Make sure y'all check out the Super Bowl this weekend in NOLA. All right. We out.